Alright, I think we're live here. Well, I think I gotta actually... Yeah. Gotta create a new screen capture here. So let me just, let me sign in really quick first. To Underdog, get all that started here. Alright, filled up 10% again. Really? Is this a glitch? I'm seeing I could fill up my, my account again, huh? I think it's a glitch. Because I already used it. We're gonna go drafts, we're gonna go to the sprint, we're gonna enter. Looks like we need 6 more people, so perfect. We'll set up the stream here. Make sure audio is working well first, and then set up the stream. Alright, good. Make sure audio is good. Now we're just gonna fix this here. Alright, I think we're good. We're just waiting on 2 more here. Just waiting on 2 more here. Let's see what we pulled here. 1.12. That sucks. We'll probably end up doing a couple more of these at least. Hopefully get at least a earlier pick too, but the 1.12. Alright, let's see. Just want to make sure the stream's working well. Cool. Alright. Well, this is going to give me some time to at least open up my drafters and DraftKings and talk through some of the exposures there and stuff that's been going on over there while we I know it's just my password still. Where do you go to exposures here? I'm gonna talk through these after. Just Wish you could bring this out more and zoom in, but you just can't. But I'll talk through. I forgot how. The best ball explorer has DraftKings exposures, and I would love to see. Um, this is my Underdog, which I don't really care for. They have DraftKings and drafters. It's perfect. So. DraftKings. We're gonna have to do it on. We're gonna have to do it on Firefox, which I think I don't have yet. I don't think I have Firefox. Yeah. We'll see if we download Firefox. I'd rather just talk through my exposures on that site rather than kind of going. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really care to. I kind of know where my builds are at. I mean, maybe if I have time here. Um, I don't even know if Firefox is on iOS. Probably have to go to the store or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, so Drake London goes. So the interesting thing here is the Colts have a pretty good playoff schedule of Denver, Tennessee, New York Giants. So I'm definitely going to go JT. They have a really good schedule. The Falcons do as well, so that was a pretty good pick. I probably wanted Drake London there. Um, like the Eagles have a pretty good schedule. The Rams do. Um, I don't love to take it. I'm just going to go with Marv. I've been loving the Arizona offense, and as we look into the exposures, you'll see that I really do like the Arizona offense here. Um, so since we're 21 picks away, I can kind of talk through where I'm at with drafters. I'm probably going to do. I'm going to play through my balance here. I didn't really think I was going to do drafters. And then they gave me some EV tools here to use. They gave me a deposit match bonus because I donated last year. It was a donation last year for me. So I ended up, putting some money in, and they obviously give a lot of free tickets away. Between once you get to 50, you get 2 tickets. If you get to 100, you get 3 tickets. And then obviously the weekend bonuses, those kind of add up to where you can get like probably about 20%, at least for me, 20% of my lineups are basically on a house. Plus the contest is going to overlay, so I might as well take some shots. And I also think that this year, like the way I'm drafting, the way I'm building teams, it kind of just fits well with how drafters is, where you could take 3 quarterbacks, you get 20 spots. You can kind of go for that 3-6-8-3, which is kind of where I shoot for. I would probably say if and we could actually do drafters first here and then see if I would decide to do this. Let me email pick data here. See where it's at here. Drafters. Huge overlay alert. It's funny that they just sent that over. And yeah, I mean, I think that what really with drafters is like I like drafters in DK with the 20 rounds because I think that it's just an easier way to build an EV lineup as Underdog with 18. It's kind of a little bit more rough, especially when I just feel like sometimes you're just like pigeonholing yourself into like mega reaching on players that I don't like or anything like that. Um, but yeah, I mean it's all right. Like I'm not entirely worried with my Underdog exposures. I think I definitely put myself behind the 8 ball with some of my lines, but I also think drafting a little bit later this year and taking my lineups, drafting during training camp is more of an edge, I think, than drafting earlier in the year. I get you get some ADP value, but I think it just doesn't like closing line value is not the end all be all. I don't think player takes is the end all be all. I think that roster construction is important and putting yourself in the right position to succeed is important. And I think that begins with roster construction and having the most outs every week possible. Which again on drafters and DraftKings, you can get 3 quarterbacks, you can get 6 running backs, you can get 8 wide receivers, and you can get 3 tight ends. And that kind of bodes well with needing 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers every week, and then 3 tight ends or 1 tight end for 3 tight ends. And then obviously the flex spot, you have 17 players there that can hit that flex spot. And then after you take out the 6 other players, so in theory you have like 11 players that can hit that flex spot every week. You have 3 quarterbacks that can hit the 1 spot every week. It's a good ratio of what you could do. And then on a website like Underdog, the 18 rounds makes it a little bit more complex to with quarterbacks. Like I think if you ran the Sims and every quarterback stayed healthy, it's probably optimal to go 2 quarterback, but you also want to have outs when it comes down to that. So I was a pretty big 2 quarterback guy, and that's why I think I might struggle a bit, especially with some of the 2 quarterback teams that I built. But that's right, learning curve, and I think that I think I'm going to be really profitable on DraftKings this year, and potentially drafters if I can get just one lineup in drafters to do well. Like with the way I'm building out those lineups, and I mean, like taking Tua Tagovailoa in the 140s is just a cheat code. I mean, I don't know if it's because people are scared of Hill and Waddle being injured. I mean, they still have Devon Achane. They still have a lot of speedsters, and I think that you have to just consider the coaching staff here. Um, they just can draw up extremely friendly to the players in which they have in like Malik Washington, Devon Achane, Jalen Wright. Like I think like people don't understand if Hill and Waddle miss any time, like Devon Achane probably slots into the slot or the wide receiver role, and then they're not just going to run Raheem Mostert for 90% of snaps. So who does that leave you with? Jalen Wright. I always thought that a lot of these running backs, I think Corum, he has standalone value. He always has had standalone value in my opinion. And then you have Trey Benson, I think is he's a true handcuff. I think James Conner is going to get a lot of workload. But then again, James Conner doesn't have that he's never I don't know what the stat is exactly, but he's really never played a full season. So that's just tough for me to be I just don't I don't know. I don't love it, and that's why I mean I'm a little above weight on Trey Benson, and to say I'm a little bit scared is probably you know a fair assessment. But I also think that the Arizona offense is going to be extremely good this year. Um, Dude, picking from this spot just sucks. I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the Bengals here. The Bengals have a pretty friendly schedule. They got Tennessee. I mean, they play Cleveland, which sucks. But T. Higgins, I just believe in that. I might just go Josh Allen, honestly. I know I'm not correlating it well with the playoffs, but like, yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna go Josh Allen here. I mean, just a pretty ugly back end of the draft. Typically, I'll try to get a little bit unique here. Was thinking maybe going ETN, reaching on Josh Jacobs. I am totally out on Laporta and Kelsey at their prices right now, which will be seen in my drafters exposures. So, look at that. I got a $100 deposit match at BetMGM because I haven't done anything. Um, so we can open up drafters here. We're gonna upload, and I still have a little bit of drafters to go. Um, what that file download as? Pick data. What the heck? could do this. Can you drag? No, you can't. I believe this is in right here. Alright. So we can confirm. Let's see. Hopefully it works. Successfully uploaded 65 drafts. I think that's where I'm at. So we can go to drafters. Started on 812. That's when they gave me that. And then I've been really picking it up. I'm up to 65 drafts. My exposures, I'm big on Colby Parkinson. I think Jordan Whittington has standalone value. I like Jerry Jeudy, the biggest Bo Nix guy. I'm taking Michael Wilson because he just seems to be falling in my lap every time. And it's funny seeing a little bit of ADP value. I'll be interested to see where I'm getting. I mean, look at that Jordan Whittington already. Like, but then again, I really am trying to not focus on CLV this year. But with Michael Wilson, it's pretty simple for me. I like this Arizona offense. I think that they have insane potential this year. I think with like Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Greg Dortch, like they have insane potential to be good this year. Not only because of that, that's a pretty good, talented offense. I mean, I don't know, they're not top five, and it's heavily contingent on. I mean, is Marvin Harrison that dude? Some people are saying, "Oh, you're reaching for him," or "Oh, like that 1-2 turn." Like, I think you can make an argument that he belongs with the Puka Nakuas, the Malik Neighbors, the Nico. Like he definitely belongs there. I don't know why people don't think he belongs there. Um, he belongs in that one the 12 the 1-2 turn. He belongs there. Like definitely belongs there. And with Arizona, they have the one like they have like projected to be like the worst defense in the league. Like literally the worst defense in the league. And you're telling me that you don't want any weapons from this team in which last year you have Kyler Murray coming off of a torn ACL. He plays perfectly fine closing out the season, ran a little bit, gets a full off season, and you're telling me that you do not want this guy. I mean, like, Arizona is going to be in shootouts galore this year, which I think, like, you know, when I look at Arizona players, they are one of my most exposed teams. And that's why. I just think that Arizona is, like, they're good. They're just good. They're very, very good. Like, I think that they're going to be. Oh, gosh. No, no, no. Like, I think that they're going to be right there with everybody. Where did Trey McBride go, by the way? Oh, right there. Okay. Um, Kyle Pitts goes. I like Calvin Ridley. I do. I do really like Calvin Ridley. Jaden Reed. I think Jaden Reed has some upside, too. Um, Calvin Ridley. I like Jaden Reed with the situation in Green Bay right now. I think I want to take Kittle, too, though. Um, I'm going to go Kittle here. And then let me see. San Fran. I can't really stack up anybody here. I'm not really going for right now week. I think I'm going to back into some correlations here. Tennessee, Green Bay. I like Jaden Reed because of Green Bay's offense, but I just think that Calvin Ridley might be that dude. I'm going to go Jaden Reed, though. Um, so, anyways, back onto the exposures here, and as you can see, I am pretty heavy in the first round here. I haven't gotten many of the 1-2s. I'm pretty below weight on these guys. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown at the 4. No idea why. I've seen him fall to like 9 and 10. Like in drafters, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like some people can argue, you can argue that his ceiling is not very high, but you can also argue that he is like the best play in the first round. Um, just due to like pure volume and like again Detroit offense or defense sucks. This guy is a PPR monster. It's full PPR. He could have weeks where he has 10 catches for 70 yards and he's still throwing up 17 points. Add on top a touchdown, you're hitting 24 points right there. It's like in my opinion, he is the best first round pick if I like just had to like gun to the head like best first round pick at where he goes. Because you got McCaffrey coming off this hamstring injury, which that's not good for a running back. You got CeeDee Lamb didn't practice all off season, which that usually doesn't bode well for somebody. You have Tyreek Hill who has his hand injury out of nowhere. You have Jamar Chase who's holding out and barely practicing, not practicing, whatever. Bijan, who I like. I think Bijan is good. Jeddah's questionable quarterback situation. Brees Hall, I think is like he proved to us last year that like he could have the worst quarterback in the league and he'll be fine. AJ Brown for me, it's just like I've gotten a lot of 8, 9, well actually not even 8. I think at 8 I'll take anybody in front of AJ Brown, but 9, 10, 11s, in which I just take him. So in terms of Garrett Wilson, I just take AJ Brown over Garrett Wilson. In season long, I just like the Philly offense as a whole. I think a really big bounce back's coming. I think AJ Brown's like he's not really discounted. He should be going there, but like I think there's a realistic chance that AJ Brown is the wide receiver one this year. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Hurts takes too much. They just got Barkley." Like, I'm not really scared of them, and as you can tell, I'm not really scared of Barkley at 4.6%. Like, I've sprinkled a little bit of him in, and then back to the Marvin Harrison conversation, of which this guy is on the Arizona Cardinals, and the Arizona Cardinals are one of the worst defenses in the league. And again, I just truly believe that Marvin Harrison, like people are like, he shouldn't be a 1-2 turn player because he's a rookie. That's such a false. He's going into a situation that is really good. His quarterback is good. It's a second year offense. He has good players around him, which you cannot argue with Neighbors. And Neighbors might get volume, but I like the upside case in Marvin Harrison. I like Neighbors too. I think that this wide receiver class is one of the best wide receiver classes ever seen. And you're telling me that you're scared to take wide receivers where they go at the 1-2 turn or the 2-3 turn because of like I don't even know. Oh, Arizona, it's Trey McBride. Oh, he might take spot. What if they just both go off? What if Kyler Murray throws for 4,000 yards because his team is absolutely dog water on the defensive end, and you have very talented wide receivers and like Michael Wilson has shown some flashes. Greg Dortch, more of a utility player, slot type guy, but when he gets the balls into his hands, he can make some things work. These guys have legit weapons. And if Marvin Harrison is Marvin Harrison that we think he is, his pretty much like 80 percentile outcome, like, the middle outcome of Marvin Harrison is he's a good wide receiver in this league. And I haven't looked at like his odds or anything like that, but I think he's really like he really could break this league. Why? Like he could just do really well, and that's where like I am just so high on him, and yeah, I'm just all in on Arizona this year, and they're probably I think on drafters. If I wish we could pull up like team exposures, which I think you can. Um, I am 15% Marv, 13% McBride, 7%. I haven't been able to grab much Kyler on Underdog for some, or not Underdog, Drafters for some reason. But yeah, no, that's just where I'm at with them. But anyways, I'm up here, and I think I'm gonna set up for a Curtis Samuel maybe. Yeah, he goes at 104. No one's really racing to take this guy. Do I go Cortland Sutton and wait? Did I take Green Bay? I like Cortland Sutton, especially because I think I need a run. I'm probably gonna go Cortland Sutton, and then don't want to go Brock Bowers. I don't mind one of these running backs here. Um, Let's see. Just Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota. I know it's like I could go. I haven't taken much of him. I'm gonna go with DeAndre Swift. Yeah, we'll go DeAndre Swift. Um, yeah, I was thinking Ramondre for some Allen stacking, but I'm all right with that. I'm okay with. Um, yeah, I'll probably stack up Curtis Samuel with Allen here. But we did get Denver, Cincinnati. That is a stack there. So um, the thing about the sprint is like I want to still pair up some, but like then again, it's like who's going to score a lot of points over this stretch? And the Colts are a top tier offense. The 49ers are up there in terms of just like implied point totals. So, um, yeah, no, I just like them. And then like again, like I think the Cardinals at market. I don't know where they are um, in terms of this, like in terms of like implied total. Um, but they just have some upside. They play New England, Carolina, Los Angeles. I mean, New England might be a slow paced game. I think Carolina could have some potential there. Um, and then the Rams. I mean, the Rams are definitely. I think their offense isn't as good. Like that's a Week 17 mash spot for me in normal settings. So I've been taking a lot of. I mean, I'm pretty good on um, Blake Corum, and like I like that spot a lot. So I've been taking a lot of those players. But yeah, I have 23% Michael Wilson on drafters, 9.2 Dortch, and then Zay Jones. I don't have any of. Um, I don't really care for Zay Jones at all. I want to see if you could do. Where's like that? Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we could check out like some of my earlier drafts. I mean, I feel like see this is where like CLV just doesn't even matter. But this is actually funny. I took a Kyler Murray team as my first team, and I'm still really underexposed. But this is I believe this is a 3-6-8-2 typical for mine. I probably didn't need to go six with McCaffrey and Jacobs, and Mostert, but kind of just how I build on drafters. Like it's okay if these guys. And I kind of waited really long for Herbert, Hill, and Laub. Um, Obviously, and I was able to still get Devontae Smith, DK Metcalf, Brian Thomas, Joshua Palmer, Jerry Judy, who I'm overexposed to on like pretty much every every site right now. Like he's probably my most drafted, like most clicked player across all three sites. Again, Michael Wilson, Jordan Winnington, who I'm not trying to stack for Week 17, but um, that's just the way she goes. So let's see, did anyone pick Khalil Shakir Wentz? Might not even get Curtis Samuel. Might just be naked Josh Allen, which I think is honestly fine for this type of setting. Um, wouldn't mind Brock Purdy here at the turn, or even Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow falls, definitely going to take him. Wouldn't mind one of Joe or Brock. Joe Burrow goes. Um, yeah, this is just I hate the turn here. This is I should have gone contrarian and just like built like an RB start or zero RB. I think it's the best to do it at the 2-3 turn. Just taking like going very out of the ordinary at it. I feel like there's some of my best teams where I just go like zero RB or like I tried to build like a hero RB team here and just didn't really work out. But I think this is two easy clicks here. I'm gonna go with Purdy, and we're gonna probably build a two running back here or two quarterback team. Um, and then we'll go Curtis Samuel. Yeah, don't hate the team, don't love it though. We're gonna go two quarterback here, obviously. So we'll just go running back, wide receiver, tight end for the rest of the way. Won't look at quarterback. Um, look at the board here. Um, but yeah, in terms of, I mean, this team, yeah, I probably should have, could have, would have. Um, But I still like it here. Geno Smith stacked with DK Metcalf, Bryce Young. I think he was actually naked here. But that's I don't know. I mean, there's many ways you could have gone about it. I don't like McCaffrey a ton, but Law was my last pick, and he's gone. He's been getting some steam lately, and if you hit on four running backs, then they're probably going to be hitting the flex all week, and then you just need some of these guys to just pop off some weeks. And like I said, I'm really high on Michael Wilson. I think he's one of the best picks. It's funny how it shows you week 17 correlations and stuff like that, but that is how I've been drafting. Like, playoff stacks don't matter. As you can see, my draft position, the 9, 10, 11 are my, that's like my frequency there, and I really don't have much first round. Um, so, team builds, as you can see, 3-6-8-3 is my main, 3-5-9-3, 3-6-2-6-9-3, and then 3-4-10-3 I built twice. I would love to see those teams, but I don't know if we could see that. 2-8-7-3, that was a pretty unique one too. But team exposures here, Green Bay, Arizona. I've really been getting on Green Bay too, especially lately, because I think that they're just a really good offense, and now with Josh Jacobs basically being a workhorse guarantee, as you can see, he takes up that. It doesn't show. I thought this was by position, but there's been times where I've taken 5 Green Bay guys, which feels weird. I don't know if this team exposure thing is actually accurate, but I want to see if does it show the build. I want to see the 2-5-10-3 build. Um, was Mahomes and Rodgers. I'm more okay with taking just Mahomes straight up here. If he has a QB1 season, you're probably not going to need another guy. Rodgers, I just took him because Mike Will was there. Um, we went Bijan, yeah, I went Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Ty Chandler. So you probably could argue I could have gone 6 here, but I did use that Bijan, Jonathan Taylor take. So um, it probably could have gone 6. Where did I go? I went 9 wide receivers here, right? Oh no, this was a 10 wide receiver build. Jeez. Rossi Rice, George Pickens. I don't know. I just felt like I think I was trying to end up stacking with Sam Darnold, but didn't get to it. So probably could have gone with a 2-6-9-3 here. Probably the board just went crazy. But yeah, you could see picks here. But yeah, I mean, not my favorite line. I can tell you that one's not one of my favorite here. Um, but kind of walking through. I want to see this two. Where's the 2-4 or the 3-4-10-3 build? Who were my 4 running backs here? Gibbs, Pacheco. Oh yeah, Gibbs, Pacheco, ETN. Give me 1 second. You're about to be on here. Houston goes Baltimore. Let me pull up my cheat sheet here. The Bills play Detroit, New England. Of course, Polk goes, but I still could get some New England guys that I know I could target here. Um, Chicago Bears. They play Minnesota, Detroit, Seattle. Um, I was probably going to go A.D. Mitchell. Atlanta has a real nice schedule. They go Las Vegas, New York Giants, and Washington. So I think I'm going to go Darnell Mooney here. We probably need to avoid 12 bye week in the wide receiver position. I don't like these tight ends here. I might go with Jalen Wright. Kind of get an upside. There is Ty Chandler to go with Green Bay too. I've been taking a ton of Ty Chandler. I think I'm going to go Ty Chandler here. So what was I talking through? Oh yeah, my two. Um, yeah, I ended up getting C.J. Stroud, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson. Um, I think I don't know if I actually took no. When was this team drafted? 8:30. So Noah Brown was already on Washington, but wide receivers: Marv, Godwin, Reed, Jamison Williams, Jacoby Myers. Like the wide receiver room feels good. Tight end room definitely lacking a little bit, but stacked up with every single quarterback pretty much. So Colby Parkinson, saw was one of my top players. Still got Jalen McMillan and Chris Godwin. I mean, like I'm just upside casing Deshaun or Baker Mayfield here. Like if Baker Mayfield goes off, I'm pretty sure Godwin, McMillan, Otten will be part of that, unless it's Mike Evans for 20 touchdowns. But yeah, Jameer Gibbs I think should be fine. Pacheco, Etienne. This is the thing though, and I think that if we go to where the pick was, this is what I'm talking about. Like I'm picking from the 12th return, so I'm like, all right, and then like Etienne and Pacheco. This is probably after P Ryan, I think. And just kind of like, all right, I'm going to build a contrarian lineup, and it's like I don't mind this because like I'm spending so much capital on the running backs that like if they don't hit, then this lineup sucks anyways. Like I don't need to build out from that. So um, looks like I built another 3-4-10-3. Um, this was from the 7 spot, and went Brees Hall first. Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Brian Robinson. Again, kind of just like banking on that, like these two guys are good, using that premium capital. I liked Kenneth Walker a ton. I think he fell a ton in this draft. And I mean, that's just the way she goes, with that. So Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker's good. And then B Rob, I mean, he's like a touchdown upside guy. Pretty sure they have all the same or different weeks. So yeah, and then Jaden Daniels sadly picked Luke McCaffrey on this team, so that's probably a walking zero. Uh, who knows? Maybe he'll hit, maybe not. I don't. There's been no buzz around Luke McCaffrey, so yeah, that's just tough. It's all right. So we had Daniels, Mayfield, Levis. Levis is really. I've been getting warming up to Levis. Stacked him with Ridley and Boyd. Um, Greg D is a guy I really like. So yeah, no, it's just interesting seeing these teams that I kind of went contrarian with. You could see minus 60 ADP value, but I don't really care. Um, there was one more build I wanted to see. This 2873. Um, as you can see, I allocated a ton of draft capital to wide receiver, so that is why I drafted 8 running backs here. And it was Mahomes Purdy, so I think that you're fine taking a Mahomes Purdy. And then I took all these running backs. I mean, Mason looks great in terms of value. Standalone value. I'm hoping that these 3 guys can standalone value. Maybe hit another guy. A.J. Brown, Debo Samuel, Rashi Rice, Jaden Reed. Hollywood Brown's like, we still got Darnell Mooney and Greg Dortch. Like, those guys are going to be, and then the tight end room. Like, really like this team. Like, if, like, these running backs hit, then I only need 3 wide receivers to hit. So, and I'm on the clock. Oh, shoot. Um, Once again, we're going to go running back, wide receiver, tight end. I don't mind Bucky here. Don't mind Hunter Henry either. I think we actually could go Breeland. Ray Davis is good. I'm going to go Ray Davis. And then, man, I can make this a 5 running back. Don't really care for any of these wide receivers here. Like, I feel like I could wait. I don't like Thielen here. Could go like Gibson or Henry. I don't have any New England guys. Gibson's, their bye week is 14. We'll go with Gibson. And then we'll just close out running back and we'll just draft wide receivers and tight ends the rest of the way. Maybe. We'll see, actually. I'm probably going to actually have to go 6 running backs. I could probably go 2, 6. 2 and 6 is 8. And then 7, 2 or something. Or 7, 3, 8, 3. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, so yeah, last thing on this drafters, like lineup like this, like AJ Brown, Debo Samuel. I don't know about their bye weeks. I wish it would show, but you can see I started off like I don't love DeAndre Swift first of all, but in that format it's fine. And then I drafted another wide receiver. Like I don't know, maybe 8 was overkill, but like my draft capital allocation clearly shows that like you know I'm hoping to get there. So best ADP CLV. Um, Love Goff, Fields, Pacheco, Walker, Spears, Herbert, Tank, Elijah Mitchell. Ugh, that's ugly. But at least I have 6 running backs, and I like Tank. I like Herbert. Spears is probably good for a PPR. This one I got Marv and Amon Ra. Zay Flowers, Xavier Worthy. Yeah, this team's Watson. If Watson's a big play guy. Gabe Davis. I think a lot of these guys just started falling to me. Don't love Pat Fryermuth, but I think if Kittle can carry him over the line, he probably can. Um, yeah, no, pretty good team. I think I got Fryermuth like crazy um, pick wise, but I could be wrong. Yeah, 162, and yeah. So that is the drafters exposures, and I like again my what I'm happy about drafters and what I want to pull up about I will end up doing DraftKings if I do. Let's see if I can pull it up here. I don't know if it's gonna ask me. It's not compatible with this little device, so yeah, they don't have Firefox on here, so looks like I can't do my DraftKings exposures, which sucks, but I'm sure I'll just send them. It looks like it's like an extension or something like that. Um, yeah, which is fine. I don't need to look at that. I think I could download too and run like some pivot tables or something. We'll see. Um, but yeah, for Underdog, I don't even want to look at my Underdog exposures. I'm actually pretty embarrassed about those. Um, so yeah, I don't really want to look at them. So I'm really hoping if we could get Greg Dortch, but then again, I have Marv. I don't know if I want to get Greg Dortch. I mean, Greg Dortch is fun. He's a fun pick. Don't get me wrong. This team is not my favorite team for a draft. That's for sure. Um, Font's not bad. Could go Likely here. Honestly, might go 3 tight end. Honestly, I don't know. We'll see. What kind of quarterbacks? Don't make me click next, please. I don't want to click next, but I kind of want to. I kind of want to. 3-6-6-3. No, I'm kidding. I can't do that. I mean, I could do a 3-6-7-2 with this line. I feel like it wouldn't be the worst, but I don't know. With Josh Allen, taking him at the 3-4 turn makes me think that if he doesn't have a QB1 season or smashes in the playoffs, probably not going to matter in the end. So, um, Sam Darnold goes. Tyrone Tracy. I might end up going 3 tight ends here. I don't mind Font or Likely. I might end up going 3 tight ends. I don't really care for these running backs here. I don't really care for these wide receivers are just so mid. You know what? I'm gonna go off the board here. I'll go with Malik Washington. A lot of buzz out of him. I don't really care that I'm reaching on him. Go with Isaiah Likely too. Um, Sort of a reach. I don't really care. I really like Malik Washington right now, given the circumstances of what's going on there. Um, I believe they play Cleveland in the finals. Yeah, they play KC and Cincinnati. Definitely some games in which he could be hitting pretty good. So, um, yeah. This is fun. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing. I think my goal is to probably do 4 of these drafts, just because I still have to max out DK, which we can kind of segue into now. Or actually, I don't like this. It's so hard to view, but I need to zoom in. Is the zoom different? Let's see what the zoom is. I'll wait for this draft to end, kind of talk through my DraftKings exposures. I can't get iOS, which sucks, but what can you do? So, yeah, we're wrapping up here. I don't know. I don't mind going 5 running backs here. I also don't mind just doing those 2 tight ends and going running back, wide receiver, end up with a 2-6-8-2. Um, but I'd kind of like more outs either at the quarterback or tight end position. So could go Juwan Jennings. I like Juwan Jennings Juwan Jennings. With the Ricky Persson news, not even like victory lapping that. It's like so unfortunate what happened with him, but it's gonna be. It sounds like he's okay, but if you're just talking strictly from a fantasy perspective, not looking good for him. Um, and I think Juwan Jennings is probably the 4th wide receiver there and will be for the rest of the year. We'll see what happens after this year with Debo, the Ayuk saga. I mean, a really bad offseason for Ricky, and I hope he gets better, and I hope he's okay. It sounds like um, he's going to be all right, and um, he's good, so that's really good to hear about Ricky. Really unfortunate, really unfortunate, and strictly from a fantasy perspective too. It's just like with the Ayuk signing, and then now it's going to be. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I would assume he's not going to play. Um, the first couple weeks, he was already having some injury issues. Just Ricky sounds like a complete fade this year. Hoping he does well. I think he's got long term value for sure in San Francisco. I think Debo might be gone after this year or something. They're gonna have to do something with those two, obviously. So could go Parkinson here. I don't mind 3 tight end with the lineup like this. Like getting Allen and Purdy, you get Parkinson, who I really am high on, and gives you unique values at the tight end position. Um, man, Bo Nix is still available. Gosh darn it, man! Somebody please take this guy. Otherwise, I'm going to build a 3-5-7-3, and it'll be the ugliest wide receiver room you'll ever see. But I probably do need a wide receiver here. There also is Whittington. So between Whittington and him, running backs wise, thank you for going Bo Nix. Um, I'm standing this guy all year long, and Cam Akers is officially back. We're going with him. We're going with Whittington, and there's the team. Do I like it? Absolutely not. I think that these teams are just terrible to build from the. Yeah, like I said, I wish I just would have gone like robust RB or something. But we'll go through pick by pick here. So Jonathan Taylor, Marvin Harrison, T. Higgins, Josh Allen, Kittle, Reed, Sutton, DeAndre Swift, Brock Purdy, Curtis Samuel, Darnell Mooney, Ty Chandler, Ray Davis, Antonio Gibson, Malik Washington, Isaiah Likely, Cam Akers, and Jordan Whittington. Um, yeah, a bunch of rookie wide receivers. Probably not going to be good from an advanced rate, but I think that it's tough. Even with liking Marv, it's just like, it falls here. I was thinking about maybe taking a Josh Jacobs over Josh Allen, and then maybe taking Kyler here at the turn. It is what it is. Josh Jacobs or ETN, would have been cool. Um, don't love Terry. Don't love Diggs in this format. Don't really care to reach on any of these guys. It probably would have been Josh Jacobs, but what can you do? We'll see. Maybe I'll stream another one of these, and hopefully I get a better pick. Um, And I mean, yeah, probably could have gotten Juwan, but whatever. So did some week 17 correlation. There's some other correlations in there. I think in this it's okay to still correlate a little bit, like interdivision. Probably could have done that too. I think Buffalo plays New England. I don't even know who's on San Francisco outside of Detroit. Um, they play Miami and LA. So it's like, see what I mean? Like there you go. They play LA and Miami. Arizona plays LA. Like they mesh. They somehow got there. You know what I mean? They somehow get there. Green Bay. Let's see who they play. They play Seattle, New Orleans, Minnesota. So don't have anything there. But Minnesota plays Chicago, Seattle. So there you go. I got some Minnesota, Chicago mixed. Who knows? Ty Chandler, and you never know, right? Like you just never know. Indianapolis plays Denver. So like you're probably the thing about like the sprint, like you want to correlate playoff wise, but like you don't need to focus on that. You kind of just got to get your guy that you think is going to be good over the season, and then like they have a high total. And what I like about that is I have San Francisco who's up there in the top tier. They have a pretty high implied total. Jonathan Taylor has a pretty high implied total. Darnell Mooney is part of Atlanta, who has a pretty high implied total. I believe Green Bay is up there too. They should be like hold on, I gotta get rid of this guy's. Yeah, the Packers are up there. Like they're like a top 10 offense. So um, yeah. But anyways, I'll wrap up with my exposures here. Oh boy. We'll zoom in a little bit more. So looking at my exposures again, this is still a work in progress. Um, QB wise, again, I've been big on all these guys. These top three guys, I've been all in on. Deshaun Watson, I wish I had less of at this point, but I've just been taking a lot of Judy, and when he falls to me, it's like if I get that 20 percentile outcome out of this guy, like his top 5 percentile outcome is higher than he's got top five in his range of outcomes, given the situation of he plays for Cleveland. And if he just returns to a mid-level quarterback, he could really get elevated into a top, 10 to 5 quarterback, in my opinion. Like right in that 5 to 10 range, I think is where like Deshaun Watson can get to. And if he does, like, obviously he's going to smash. And I think that he hits 5 to 10 more than other people in his range. Which, like, again, Aaron Rodgers, like, not really interested in Aaron Rodgers. Like, his shoulder does concern me. Like it really does. I don't think the whole being away from football and all that, like that's fine. He's had an off season. He played a little bit last year. If his shoulder can somehow hold up, and hopefully they put him, I wouldn't be shocked if we get Deshaun Watson limited to no participant Mondays and Thursdays during the year. So, anyways, Bryce Young, like I'm a big Bryce Young guy. I think Carolina's going to take a step forward. I don't think they'll be a bottom five offense this year, and they're getting drafted as a bottom five offense. So could be wrong. I don't like one thing I like about Bryce Young is his job security is pretty much there. Like they're not gonna just like bench him unless he's outright hideous, and I don't think that's there. I just don't think that's there. So running back wise, Tank Bigsby. I had a ton of 20th round Tank Bigsby. I don't even think he's fully drafted on DraftKings because I picked him in the 20th round, and I'm like, how many drafts is where this guy's not even getting drafted? Pretty self-explanatory there. I think Jacksonville takes a big step forward this year. I think this is finally the T-Law year. He's 11%, which I'm happy with. Yeah, I just think it's T-Law's year, and if ETN goes down, I think he's the clear two there. And like he actually has had some like positive buzz this year. As you can see, I have pretty flat exposures. Um, so, yeah, Gibson, PPR upside. I think he's going to play a lot more snaps than people want. I think Ramondre Stevenson is one of the most overdrafted players in here. I'm 5% Stevenson, but as you can see, 144. The Millie's 20. So at a max, I have 140, which would probably take down the percentages a decent amount. I think Gibson is just a better player from that backfield in terms of pass catching. Zach Moss, I have him and Brown. I think Brown's going to be at 12%. Pretty self-explanatory. Cincinnati plays Denver week 17. And if I get there with a Cincinnati running back, I will be very, very happy. So, Bucky Irving, Blake Corum. Bucky Irving's a lot of positive news. I think he gets some touches. Blake Corum, I don't think we need to go into him. I think he's a great pick still. Tyjae Spears, I wish this is more Tony Pollard. But, again, that's just a backfield that I like. I like Tennessee because I think they're going to move the ball a lot better this year. They got Ridley. Hopefully, D-Hop can stay healthy. Jalen Wright, I had like 15% of this guy, and then, yeah, he's been steamed, so I've been taking less of him. Roscoe Johnson, I think he's the direct backup to DeAndre Swift. I think Khalil Herbert's kind of like the plotter, so, he's an injury away on an offense, and he has pass catching ability, so, yeah, kind of there, just, whatever. Probably not a great pick where he is now, and like this is why I like hope to draft later in next year because him and Madison are just like I don't click their names anymore because I like Laub and I like other players other than Roscoe Johnson now. Cam Akers, for example. Drafted last like a Charbonnet earlier, don't love it now. Guys, I'm underweight on Najee Harris. Probably not good, considering you might get like a boatload of work. Rashad White, kind of shorting him with Bucky Irvin. Garendo, I mean, like, kind of ran well with this, but I think I have a lot of Elijah Mitchell, so not good there. 6% Elijah, not good, not good. 6% Warren, I mean, like, I just don't like Pittsburgh at all. There's DeAndre Swift. Jordan Mason, I've been taking a lot of, just because he went undrafted for so long. Cam Akers at 8%. Guy I've been taking a lot of late. Guys I'm short on running, and this is like crazy. I have no Lamar Jackson, and I think it's just because I just don't like him where he goes, and you'll see it later with my tight end exposures. Sam Howell I've taken a couple times. Michael Penix. I'm actually like fairly short on Dak, which I'm not a big fan of. Took some Russ. Took some Burrow, really low on Richardson too. Allen, not really that much. Mahomes, I've been picking up a lot on. Rodgers, Fields, Goff. I mean, like these guys, I'm just way low on. Um, but that's because I just like Young. I like May a ton. I love Nix. Now he's gotten Steen, but I still like Nix. Watson, yeah, Watson's gonna be the bad pick. I have a feeling, but whatever. Wide receiver wise, Jerry Jeudy. That's why I have a bunch of Watson. Deontay Johnson. That's why I have a bunch of Bryce Young too. Rome. I was taking a bunch of Rome, and then people realized that he's actually good, and started taking him. Cooper Neighbors. I'm actually shocked at how low my Marv is here. Still 11%, which is pretty good. 11% John Dotson. I want to die with that exposure. Um, Some guys I'm like completely out on. Tyler Lockett. Rondell Moore injured, sadly. Um, Noah Brown I've been adding in a little bit. He's pretty much undrafted, so that's a pretty good. I took some Chase Claypool, LOL. Naylor, Boyd, Ray McLeod. Trying to see if any like big names show up here. I think I know who's going to come up first. Yeah, Lad McConkey I'm completely short on. As you can see, my fees too are like crazy low on this dude. Ricky P, I mean, just, yeah, was never really a good pick, and now I'm not going to click his name, so he'll hopefully go down in the last 11 drafts. Drafted a lot of Jalen Tolbert early, and then just now been picking up on my Higgins, Addison. Probably should pick up a little bit there, too. Surprised at my Darnell Mooney shares. I actually like Darnell Mooney. Took some Whittington, 7% Cup, who I'm not going to click the rest of the way. Just want to down my exposure there. Jalen Hyatt, ugh. Mike Williams, like him. Dortch, again, just kind of like 8%, but still pretty high on Arizona, and you'll see that, I believe. Where's my Michael Wilson? Yeah. I've been picking up. I saw Michael Wilson a couple weeks ago. He was like 4%. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to get this guy going. Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. I haven't clicked many Kansas City pass catchers lately, just because they've like steamed. And I took a bunch of Hollywood Brown, sadly, but I still have a lot of Rice at good prices. Yeah, I mean, pretty flat, taking a stand on Deontay Johnson and Jerry Judy, those are my guys above 16%. Where I start, like, I think the above 16% is where like you're kind of taking the stand on someone. Zay Flowers, I just like because of the scheme and everything for Baltimore. And then last but not least, tight end Noah Fant, Greg Dolchich, who was going undrafted for quite some time, really high on Denver this year. I think Arizona and Denver are probably my like stand offenses, and I think you'll see Sutton in here somewhere. He should be semi high at 14%. Like I'm really high on Denver this year. I think that Denver just has like potential to be better than middle of the pack. Like I think like the reasoning for Drake May is not because I think the Patriots are going to be middle of the pack. I just think that like Drake May has some like serious upside and he's going to lift some players up. Um, and I think that like where they're getting drafted is where like people were drafting Drake May in the 18th round. So when people go, why do you have so much Drake May? Because he's getting drafted at the floor. Like you're basically telling me that New England has the worst offensive league. Okay, they might, but you're telling like there's not much lower they can go, and if they suck, they suck. But if New England can at least get lifted up by Drake May, they have Jalen Polk, they have Javon Baker, who maybe he's something. He hasn't had a great camp. Um, Demario Douglas, good slot guy. I mean, like they just have like a bunch of like meh wide receivers to like below average wide receivers. But if Polk can become a playmaker, Gibson, who I think has potential, obviously because I draft him so much, like these dudes are getting drafted like they suck. And it's like, okay, well, guess what? Like, I'm going to embrace the unknown and be like, Gibson has catch up side. Now, on like Underdog, probably a fishier play, but still, I like him. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, Hunter Henry was one of my top tight ends for so long. I haven't clicked him in a month just because, like, it sounds like he's injured, and I don't know. Like, I think they could phase him out pretty easily for a rookie or something, but. Font's a guy that I think will be fine and come into the season really like. Um, Dolchich likely, Pitts, Ingram. I like this range of tight ends right here. Like this is the range where I mostly will snag up. Sadly, I don't have as much Kittle as them, but like I love smashing Kincaid, McBride, and Ingram and Pitts. Like those, and like they're all above like that 8% range where I really like them all. I think just like two or three of them are going to become like top three tight ends this year, and that is to me going. And this is probably one of my bigger stands this year is Travis Kelsey, who I actually think I have some of. I'm not certain. Do I even have a Kelsey? I do. I'm 2% Kelsey on this line on DraftKings, and my rationale behind Kelsey is he's just not going to get that many snaps this year. It's not that he's not good. It's not that he's not. Um, it's not that he's not like. It's not that he's not good. It's just that I think that he's going to. Um, he's going to just not see the field as much as people think, and that's just where I am at, and that's just where I'm at. I'm at um, him being a oh gosh, not that one. No. Okay. So just finally talk through my exposures here. Ugh. That's where I'm at with that. Like I just think that there is a good chance that like Kelsey is not going to see the field as much. The Hollywood Brown injury, and I'll say this, and people will think I'm crazy, is actually bullish for Kelsey to start off. But I still think that the moment he even gets a knock, they're going to put him on the shelf. Because here's the thing. I'm going to look up some odds, and this is how I'm going to wrap up. Is when you look at the odds, and I'm going to look at hopefully circa, because they people say you're looking on FanDuel, bro. Like, come on, okay, we get it, all right. You're like, um, where can I look up um, playoffs? Yes, no. Is a great one to look at here. The Chiefs are minus 560 to make the playoffs, and like, I don't know what that exactly comes out to be, but let's just say, and this is a hypothetical, but I like to see where people are at, right? Like I like to see where people think we're at. The hypothetical is right. Like we have Travis Kelsey, right? We have Travis Kelsey, Week 16. Chiefs are in the playoffs. They clinched. They have the division wrapped up. Sure, they want the first round. I get the first round bye is big, and that's why you don't rest players. But why would they play Travis Kelsey if they don't believe he's 100% ready for the playoffs? That's a very valid, and I mean valid reasoning to not draft Kelsey. And I'm not trying to predict the future because I can't predict the future. I can't. Nobody can. If we all did, we'd all be rich because we all know exactly where everything would go. I just think that with Travis Kelsey, how old he is, how much they're going to try and protect him, there's a good chance that I would put his over under games played this year at 12 ish, and I'd probably be taking the under. I think he plays less than 10 games this year if he gets a knock. If he gets a knock, he's going to be getting, they're going to treat him like, they're going to hold him. If if he injures anything, calf strain, hamstring strain, he's going to get longer than expected. The doctors will say, hey, he's going to come back in 4 to 6 weeks. Make it 6 to 8 weeks. Make it the playoffs. Rashi Rice isn't getting suspended. Hollywood Brown is going to be back by second or third game. And you have Xavier Worthy stretching the field out. They're going to run Kelsey out there. I bet his snap share over the year is going to be 60 to 70%. And that's just where, like, I just can't take him. I would rather take Rashi Rice right now over him. And I know a lot of people, I don't want to be competing with seventh round Rashi Rice. Get out of the connotation that CLV is everything and just draft good players. You know more about what Rashi Rice is going through now than the seventh rounder did. And guess what? That seventh rounder probably didn't draft the same draft you are. So, and who knows? He could have taken DeAndre Hopkins or Curtis Samuel or his 18th and 17th and 18th round players are dead. Like, there's a lot of ifs with CLV. CLV is good if you got closing line value on everybody on your team at the end of the season. Like, they just all finished great. Then you're probably going to win. Like, that's when CLV matters. And I'm not saying CLV doesn't matter. But it's not the end all. You're not a death sentence if you lost 2 rounds of value when the contest closes. Like I can assure you that much. And I can tell you right now, my underdog CLVs are terrible, which is kind of scary. But also, I'm just not scared about that. I'm not scared about my CLVs. I don't care about CLV as much as I did last year. I was like pumping up. Oh yeah, look at my J.K. Dobbins in the '90s, bro. Look at my 70s and 80s Darren Waller. He's going at the 40 now, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Because look what happens. It's football we're talking about. Injuries galore in this sport. Variance on top of a heavily like injuries in other sports they're common, but they're like in football it's like you're guaranteed that there's going to be a couple of big injuries, Nick Chubb last year. Like, it just happens. Stop trying to predict it. You can use the McCaffreys of the world, the Gibbs, to say they're a higher risk, but everything is on a probability. So, that's kind of where you got to be at with this. That's how best ball works. That's how it is. We just need to embrace it, and that is all. So, with that, I wish you all the best. I'll be in the sprint lobbies. I have 11 more DKs to go. I think I have about 7 or 8 drafters to go. So, we'll be wrapping those up. Hopefully by Wednesday night. I don't think I want to be drafting Thursday. I want to be DFS centric come Thursday. So I got a little bit of work to do, but got plenty of time, and those contests aren't going to fill or anything like BBM did. So um, once again, I appreciate it all, and any questions, just follow me on Twitter at DFSFish.
Looking forward to the season. And if I could get the DK into the Best Box Explorer through a Windows, I will. Sucks that you can't get it on iOS. But with that, wish you all